What's up guys, welcome to Dropout Gang. I'm Lara and I'm being quarantined for the coronavirus. So I know what you guys are probably thinking, yes, this is a change of scenery, and that is because I am currently working from my house. Why? Well, I'm not allowed at work, and I will get into all of this right now, but let me just give you guys the story of everything before I tell you what's actually going on. So if you guys follow me on any social media platform, you would know that I was out of town for like a month. I went to Singapore and Bali, but unfortunately I had to fly through China because at the time when I booked my airplane tickets, that was like the airline we booked through because it was the cheapest flight. So when I booked the tickets, the coronavirus wasn't even like a thing yet. So we got there in one whole piece. It was totally fine. The only thing was they were taking our temperature literally everywhere we went. Like on the flight, when we got on, when we got off, everywhere we went, they were just taking our temperature. On our flight, I wanna say to Bali, I'm sitting there, I had this hoodie on. Yes, I was getting pretty hot. My body was like, really warm, I could feel myself, so I took my hoodie off. I was like, okay, it's really hot on this airplane. I already felt it. I was like, okay, whatever. So the lady comes and starts taking everybody's temperature and everything, stops at me, takes my temperature, looks at it, takes my temperature again, one more time, and she turns it to me and she goes, with her little Asian accent, she's like, you have fever. And I'm like, no, I don't. Like, she's like, okay, well, do you feel fine? And I'm like,
yes, I feel fine.
Like, there's no shot I got this virus. And if I did it takes like 2 weeks for the symptoms. I was in Singapore for like 4 days. Like, there's no way I have it. And if I did, you wouldn't know. So she like walks away, or like goes and starts taking everybody else's temperature behind our seats, walks away, comes back with like 2 other flight attendants. And now I'm getting literally everyone on the airplane's attention, and everyone's just staring at me, and I'm like, okay, I'm actually shitting myself at this point. I'm not even gonna lie. And I'm just like, oh God, like they're gonna quarantine my ass. They're gonna take me off this plane once we land, and they're gonna put me in some hospital that it's gonna suck, and oh, okay, I don't even know. There were so many things going through my mind, okay? So like when she walked away the first time, I was like drinking water, I was like fanning myself. I was like, okay, this airplane is hot, which makes sense as to like why my head is hot and why I like have a fever. So I was just like drinking water, cooling myself down, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so when she comes back, she like takes my temperature again, everyone's staring, all the flight attendants are about to shit themselves, I'm shitting myself. She takes it and is just like, oh no, you're fine. And I was like, I had like the biggest weight lifted off my shoulders. So then I was in Bali for about 3 to 4 weeks, and then I was totally fine, nothing happened out there. There wasn't really many cases or any cases at the time out there, so we were completely fine, no masks, no temperature anywhere. So some of the last nights when we were in Bali, I ended up getting an email telling me my flight was canceled because of the virus, because it was a Chinese airline. So I called like the third party that I booked off of, and they were like, oh yeah, we can't change the flight, there's nothing we can do, the only thing we can do is refund you and you rebook another one. And I'm just like,
oh my God.
Can you please just give me a flight so I can get home, please? And so I'm like, that's literally the only option. They're like, yes. So I'm like, okay, fine, just give me the refund for my ticket so I can book another flight. So they processed the refund, right? And then I ended up calling the Chinese airline to see if there was anything they could do about it. So I called them and had asked if we were able to change our flight, and she was like, no, yeah, you can like change it through us. Are you freaking kidding me at this point? But when she looked up our flight, she was like, it's canceled. And I was like, that's because I literally just canceled it through our third party because they told me there was nothing I could do. So now I had to call back the third party people and tell them to cancel the process, the return process, cancel that. So they were like, okay, sure, we'll cancel it. So we called back the Chinese airline and they're like, no, it's still not canceled. So this was going on probably for like 4 days, 3-4 days. and we were trying to get our flight changed so we didn't have to like rebook and buy a complete new one. Even though we didn't want to go through China, we didn't really have a choice, but we were going through like mainland China where there were like not really any cases. I was like searching it up there. We couldn't find anything on the place where we went, which was through Xiamen. And so we were like, okay, we should be fine as long as we wear a mask, constantly wash our hands, put hand sanitizer on. And then as we're going back through China, we ended up having a really long layover in one of the places. So we got a hotel, literally just went from airport to hotel and then hotel back to the airport. Didn't do anything while we were out there. We were too scared to go anywhere. So we got to the airport and then we flew back home and landed in LA first. And when we got off the plane in LA, there were so many people working for the health department in the little area we got off, and they were taking that so seriously. They gave us like all these papers for the virus. They checked our temperature, asked us all these questions, and it was just like probably the worst like quarantine thing that I went through with traveling like to all these places. One of these papers that the health department, once we got off the plane, gave us, they were like, you're gonna need to do this for 2 weeks. I currently have to monitor my temperature every day, morning and night, for 2 weeks and write it down on this beautiful piece of paper. So when I first got here, I had to go buy a thermometer, but I have been documenting my temperature every morning and night for the past it's already been like a week. So I finally flew back to Phoenix, and literally the next day after getting here, I get a phone call from the health department, which is Maricopa Health Services or something, which is located in like around Phoenix and stuff. And they're like, hey, like we have your records of you going through China, like how are you doing? How do you feel? Pretty much telling me that I have to report my temperature to them also every day. So currently it's still going on. Every day they email me and I have to answer this survey about my temperature from last night in the morning when I take it and send it back to them, or else they'll call me, which is like kind of sketch. Also on this phone call, they were like, okay, well, try not to go to work. Which explains this is why I am working from home right now and telling you guys about my stories. Kind of sucks I couldn't go back to work because I had a gift for everyone that I worked with, and it was the coronavirus. Just kidding, I don't think I have it yet. So they were like, try not to go to work for the next 2 weeks and monitor yourself so you don't infect other people, and try to keep like a social distance and like stay inside at your house. So that is what I have been doing the past week. I've been home and now I'm finally working again from at home for another week. I have been doing a lot of research about this virus and stuff. So for my age, if I were to get it, I'm not going to die. So honestly, I'm fine. If I were to get it, I'll be fine. It's just like a little flu, but I don't think I'll get it, honestly. I think I'll be fine. But yeah, I've just been reading about it, how it's like spreading in the US and in the world, and it's actually insane, like crazy to think like this is actually going on right now. And it's scary because like I have a lot of friends and family in China, like all my family is in China, so I'm just like, hey, like, are you guys okay out there? Like, you fine? But yeah, I'm ready for this to all be over. I don't think it will be for a while. And it sucks because I'm not done traveling and this is still going on. Like, what's gonna happen? Like, I don't even think it's at the peak yet. What is gonna happen when it's like April, May, June, like summertime, and we're all trying to travel and the disease is still out there? Like, everyone's gonna end up getting it and no one's gonna be able to travel, and it's gonna absolutely suck. So I really hope somebody finds a cure for it soon. Yeah, if not, then this is still going to continue to suck, but let's hope somebody finds a cure for it very soon. But yeah, I am doing 100% okay. You guys don't have to worry about me. I will be back on my feet and working in no time, so you guys will see me a lot more now since I'm back from my trip. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you did, be sure to subscribe, like, and follow us on Instagram, and we'll see you in the next one.